everybody, welcome to Never Alone Homestead and welcome to my kitchen. Today I have been making jelly. I've been making grape jelly and apple jelly, and I actually got 26 jars sitting over here today that I had made. Made it in just a couple hours. It is such an easy recipe that you can literally fill your pantry up and don't have to worry about it until next year. You know, many people think it's hard or it takes a lot of time to canning, and that's not even true. Canning is very easy, and in the long run it saves you time. See, I've 26 jars here. I don't think I'm going to be eating 26 jars in 1 year. But the thing of it is, when you do your own canning, it lasts for years. So it not only saves you time this year, but it saves you time into the future. So let's get started here. Now, what I start with is that I take my juice. I want to say jelly, but making so much jelly. My juice. And it could be peach juice, it could be grape juice, it could be apple juice, and here I've got apple juice, it could be fig juice, whatever your favorite juice is that you might already have into your pantry. Now, if you don't can or starting to can or you're wanting to learn to can, you know, you can start out by going to the grocery store and getting you 100% juice. Yes, don't get the artificial, go get the imitation. Go buy you some juice, whether it's apple, grape, or whatever kind they do have there at the grocery store, and get you some of that, because both of them take the same measurements, 4 cups of juice, and you use the same recipe and make jelly for your future, for your household, for the rest of the year. Matter of fact, this jelly is good for 5 years. So let's get started. I've already got my lids and rings here. They're already pretty much at a simmer. I have done this without heating or, heating the lids up, the rings up, and it worked just fine. But for the FDA approval, that this is the way you're supposed to do it. And just to make sure that they do seal is easy, just go ahead and put your pot on with some water, put your rings and your lids in it, have them ready, so that when you're ready to put them in the canner, that you don't have to even think, second guess it. It's going to work. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do here, because we're waiting for this, the longest part about this is just waiting for it to come to a boil. So next we're going to put in 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Okay, and then we're going to give it a stir. Stir it up. And our next step is that we're going to put in 1 package of Sure-Jell. 1 package of this Sure-Jell here, Fruit Pectum. And what we're going to do, we're going to sprinkle it in and let it set for 1 or 2 minutes. And then we're going to keep stirring until a boil. And what I like to do is, I don't just like dumping it in. I like, that's why I said sprinkle it in. You got to be careful, because dumping it in, when this gets hot, it can splatter on you and it will burn you. Not only on top of that, I like sprinkling things in so I know that it's getting mixed up really good. And another thing, let that start warming up. Another thing is that, oh my, easy. I've already got 4.5 cups of sugar already measured in here, so we're ready for that. If you go ahead and get your stuff out, it makes you just fly through this really, really fast. I have this out also for my jars, okay? And this is what I'm going to be using to dip my jelly into the jars. Now, some people use plates. I like to use paper plates because I like it easy. So I'm going to be using this. Once I dump it into the jelly into my jars, I'm going to be laying it on here. And then when all is said and done, this is done, I can throw my dishes into the sink and this into the trash. Now we're talking about easy. Also, once the jelly's ready to put into the jars, we will be skimming some of the foam off. And so once again, a paper plate to take the foam, put it right here. Now the foam's not going to hurt your jelly, it just makes it look pretty. So we try to get as much much foam off the top of it. And this also, I use this to put a little bit of jelly in there to make sure that it's gelling. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start sprinkling in. And I'm going to turn this burner up just a little bit. The gas stove cooks actually quite different than an electric stove. It cooks hotter, it gets faster hotter, so you kind of have to get used to your stove. Now I use the electric stove a lot. I have 2 stoves here, so you just have to pay attention what's going on within your pot. So let's go ahead and sprinkle this in and stir. Once again, we got 1/4 cup of lemon juice in here, 4 cups of juice, whether it's your juice that you have canned away, or you went to the grocery store and bought 100% juice. Now we're putting in this Sure-Jell Pectin here. Make sure we get it all in there. And then now I'm going to let it set for 1 or 2 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and let it set for 1 minute. And what I'm going to do, this is already starting to get hot, I'm going to go over here and set my timer. Okay, the timer is set. So now what we're going to do is just wait for that buzzer to go off and let this set, then we'll start stirring again. Now I can hear my canner over here boiling. You always want to go ahead and have your jars in there. That only is that sterilize them, it gets them hot, it's getting your water hot. So when this part is done, you just put them in there and then you process your jars for 10 minutes. It's already starting to get hot. The buzzer still hasn't gone off, and so it's starting to foam up. So that's a good sign to me. That lets me know that everything is already starting to work here. And now we got 8 seconds, countdown time. 2, 1. All right, guys. And we stir once again. And this is the thing. If you stir and what we want it to do is come to a rapid boil, like a rolling boil. And if you are stirring and that rapid rolling boil calms down, it's not ready. It's only ready when it comes to that rapid rolling boil. That's when you put your sugar in. Now, once you put your sugar in, you want to constantly keep it stirred because you got sugar in there, you don't want it to burn. Also, I want to say is that you want to, don't dump your sugar just in there. Sprinkle it, put a little bit in there at a time, because this mixture is so hot that if it splashes on you, it will burn you, okay? So everything is ready. And now it's starting to boil, so it's not long now. So I would just advise you, go ahead like I did, get everything out, and before you know it, you'll be over with it. Now I will say that once I can my jars of jelly, I always have not quite a full jar, and that's okay. What we want is it to, when you fill your jars up, to be 1/4 to the top, okay? To that first ring right there. You see that first ring. Go to the first ring. And with a little bit of practice, you don't even have to use this. So like I said, the last jar usually doesn't fill up all the way, but you know what? That's okay. If you don't even fill it to 1/4, that's okay. That's just a recommendation of how to fill the jars. Now, if you do a jar and it doesn't pop, it doesn't ping, the lid doesn't seal, just take it, put it in your refrigerator, and it's just fine. You just start eating on it. So now this is coming to a boil here. And what we want is to get to a rapid boil. Also, before I forget this, I have already some vinegar, and I have a paper towel here. So when I pour this jelly into the jars, I always wipe my lids off. You always wipe your lids off. Some people just take a rag. I like to take some vinegar and a paper towel, and some people just take a damp rag. But I always like to take vinegar and paper towel and wipe the top of my rings so that I know that it's getting all the sugar off, or the fruits or vegetables, whatever, grease or whatever it may be, it gets it off, and my jar is going to seal. Now this is at a rapid boil now, so what I'm going to do is gradually pour the sugar in. You see it's going in gradually. To me, it makes the texture more even. It's easier to stir. And what we're doing is pretty much just getting this sugar to melt, and it's mixing up with the pectin and the lemon juice and the juice. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of that in there. Give it a good stir. And you might, look at your heat, see if you got it high enough. It's just pretty much getting to know your stove. Alright, so what we're going to do now, I've got it stirred. We're going to let it come back to a rapid boil. Once it starts that rapid boil again, we're going to cut the fire off. We're going to cut, if you like your stove, cut your burner off. We're going to cut this off, and then we should be skimming some of the foam off of the top, and also putting a little bit aside to see if it gels. Now, I've never had one not to gel, but it's just something that you just, it's good practice. So what I'm going to do is walk over here and cut. I see this pot over here boiling, cut it down some. All right. Now on an electric stove, usually, like I said, a gas stove cooks a little bit different than an electric stove. Gas stove kind of cooks like you're out on a fire outside. So once this gets to boiling here, we'll be good to go. Just want to be sure to keep it stirred. So easy. Like I said, the longest part of this is just the waiting for it to get hot. But that's the secret of making jelly. It just got to get hot. All the mixtures got to come together and just form a gel, and we have jelly. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. If you please hit the like button, please share on your social media, give me a helping hand. I don't do a whole lot of videos, but I try to get them out there as soon as I can. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. And here it goes. It's starting to do that rapid boil. So here is where we want to definitely just keep it stirred, because that means it's getting really super hot. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. So here we go. This is good. This is getting exactly where I want it at. All right. Now that it's come to a rapid boil, what I'm going to do is just cut it off. And then we're going to start skimming some of the foam off. Now, like I said, this foam is pretty much just to make the jars look pretty. We all like our jars looking pretty, but you're not going to get all of it, and that's okay. Just get as much as you can. And so also, while I'm skimming, what I like to do is just take a little bit of it and go ahead and put it on my plate like that, because I want that to go ahead and be cooling so I can test the gelling part of it. Now, this is the skim. This is the skim part, the foam. We're skimming it. So this is the foam that comes up, rises to the top, and you just take any type of utensil. You see that? It's foam. It's nothing but foam, and you get as much as you can get off of there. And in a minute, we're going to be getting our jars and filling the jars up. And once we have them all filled up, one by one, it is a process, then we'll put that canner on high, get it to a rapid boil, and process it for 10 minutes. Then once that timer goes off, you take your jars out of the canner, get a thick towel, or don't just lay it on your counter. You can mess your counter up or cutting board, and put your jars, separate them a little bit so they can cool, and then they will start sealing. All right, so we got that. And I'm trying to test it to see, because it's really hot. It takes a minute, and it is gelling. Okay, so my next step now is to go get one of my jars. Now when you're doing this, be very careful, because all this is just super hot and it can burn you. So now what I'm going to do is take, I'm going to set this over here, is take my jar, and my hot jar, and put this on top. Take my paper plate and my bowl and dip down. And I like to hold this paper plate over it, so when we're dripping everywhere, and pour it into the jar as close as you can get to that first top ring, that very top ring, and that will be your 1/4 mark. Okay, I have a little bit left over. I'm going to pour it back in there. This gives me place to put this, and I set that there, and then I take this out and I set it in my little cup. Then I take a little bit of, I dip my paper towel and a little bit of vinegar here, and I wipe my rim off. I wipe the lid part of the rim off. Just go around it. Get a little bit more vinegar. I just like using vinegar because vinegar cuts through everything, and I just know it's, you know, it's a better chance that my lid is going to seal. So what I do now is I just get one of my hot lids and rings, okay? Put it on top, screw it finger tight, and it's hot. Put it in the canner. I grab another jar, and the process continues on. Okay, Easy cleanup, easy doing it. Everything about this is easy. And then when you get finished, you got all these jars of jelly. Now you're prepared. You're prepared for the future. We always stay prepared. It adds beauty to your pantry. Security, saves money, saves time. And look how easy it is. Screw it on tight, not too tight, finger tight. You don't want too tight. Take your jar holder, put it in the canner. Get another jar. All right, guys, I think you got it. So after all these jars are in there, remember, just put it in your canner, put it on high, get it to a rapid boil, set your timer for 10 minutes. When the buzzer goes off, take your jars out, put it on a cutting board or a towel, separate them a little bit to give them some space so they can cool off, and you'll hear them ping. If they do not, the seal does not suck down. If you don't hear a ping, or if you see a little rise on top of the seal, just put it in the refrigerator, start eating on it, and enjoy. And put this one in. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. You know, we can succeed at anything, and you'll never know that you will succeed until you try. Even if you fail and you just can't stop, you got to keep on keeping on. You got to keep trying. You know, you don't fail until you stop. You know, Thomas Edison, you know, he failed 1,000 times with a light bulb, but every day we get to enjoy light. We get to enjoy it. But he didn't quit. He didn't park. He tried something new until he succeeded. What about Benjamin Franklin? Over 3,000 times he did not have success. Unsuccessful. Imagine people kept saying he's crazy. Wondering what he was doing. You know, thought he was lost his mind. 3,000 times. My point is this. Try something new. Try this recipe. Start here. Start canning here. You know, start doing, you know, this is an easy recipe. Once you do this, you'll want to try another recipe somebody else has did, another canning procedure, and you'll be so proud of you because you did try. You didn't quit. You did succeed. All right, y'all. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Remember, God loves you, so do I, and make it a wonderful day. Thank you.